to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. I know you love to do that.
Sorry, today is such a long day. Okay. Chad Melinda.
Here.
Bill Niemeyer.
Here.
Terry Reed.
Here.
Ryan Hardley.
Here.
Ethan Maple.
Here.
Good job. Promise I know who's who.
Thank you, Yvonne. Public comments, 3-minute time limit per person for items on the agenda only. Yeah. Okay. We'll go on to claims, accounts payable, vouchers. Do I have a motion to approve APVs 26709 through 26780?
I make a motion to approve APVs 26709 through 26780 as presented in our new format and approvals.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Motion approved and seconded. Any discussions?
None.
None. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried to approve APVs 26709 through 26780. Adoption of minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the meeting minutes from July 17th, 2024?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting
As
minutes
presented.
for July 17th, 2024.
I'll second.
Motion approved and seconded. Any discussions? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried to approve meeting minutes from July 17th, 2024. No old business. New business. Approval of amended salary ordinance 080724. Is there discussion on that? Did you
I'm
want to
sorry.
say?
I couldn't find our agenda. I picked it up with all my other paperwork earlier, so I didn't know which was first. So the salary ordinance. There's a minor change on one employee who turned 65 this year and who went on Medicare. So it was requested that this person come off of, by this person, by the employees, that they would come off of the town insurance and go on Medicare. That incurs a cost for them while they are on the town insurance. The cost is only $1. So what I did, just like I've done in the past, we make a change in the person's income to reflect their out-of-pocket cost for Medicare. And I have shown you, if you'll look at the little piece of paper that has the little colors on it, on the top you'll see that the current insurance for this person is $19,780.44 for the year. So that's what we've been paying. The Medicare out-of-pocket cost for this person is $317.75 per month, totaling $4,531.75 in cost. So that is what this person will be paying, and what we will be paying, what our cost will increase. Does that make sense? But because that $19,780.44 goes away, the cost of that $4,500 is, you know, almost nothing in comparison. The savings to the town is $15,248.69. So the hourly rate change was $2.44 for per hour, and that is what's reflected in that salary ordinance. The change is on page 2. So the idea is that we're going to, if you'll all agree that it's a good idea that this person goes on Medicare, we just pay for their out-of-pocket cost, and we save the insurance that we otherwise would have been paying through the town insurance budget line.
Yvonne, this is consistent with what we've done before, correct?
Consistent with what we've done.
Okay.
We've done exactly the same thing for
Is-
one employee
yes.
previously, so to be
Yes.
consistent,
Correct.
yes.
The only difference is that when someone goes on Medicare, the out-of-pocket cost is maybe a little different from one person to the other based on their income per year and what Medicare charges.
Tracking. So for the town, we currently pay $19,780.44 for this.
On an annual basis, yeah.
Our new annual cost for supporting the healthcare for this employee is $4,531.75. So the town will save $15,248.69.
Yep, so it's a win-win for the employee as well as for the town when these changes happen. And we can't make wholesale changes we can't force somebody to do this. It's only when they decide and they request that.
The other thing that I want to make sure that we do, because it's my understanding that this was a change that happened a couple of months ago, I would like to make that reimbursement retroactive to the effective date of when the change occurred, so that that
effective date was
person's not
March.
out of pocket.
March 9th.
Absolutely think we should do that.
So, perfect.
I just want to make sure, I appreciate the cost savings, because I think that's always good when we have people on our teams that are looking at how can we help the whole in the town, and this obviously does. But that we are not setting a precedent that in some way, shape, or form could come back and bite us later on. And so, I guess my question is more to Ted, is there anything in this ordinance, the salary, that could potentially be an issue with, like, I don't want anybody to feel pressured down the road that they need to go off our insurance when they hit a certain age.
Right.
And I want to make sure that we're clear about that this has to be an employee designated decision, and we can respond to those decisions.
That's right, and that's how it was drafted. You know, the flip side would be a policy that actually provided for this, and you can't do that. You can't either encourage someone to not be on our insurance, and this federal government certainly doesn't want you pushing people to Medicare.
Right.
And so it has to be an after-the-fact decision that's made freely by the employee without, any sort of incentive on our part beforehand. So this is reflective of that. This is a decision by the council to increase the salary that it doesn't have an obligation to do, and was without coercion. So I don't see an issue with the way it's been presented.
But language like precedent and what we've done before, that has no bearing on any of this. I just want to make sure we're covering the town, and I don't have a problem with the change and with the ordinance. I just want to be hesitant of making any policy unwritten kind of.
Well, sure. Well, I think any decision you make, you kind of have to look into the future and see how it would affect someone else who comes along. And so you're fine now if a situation arose later where you didn't take the same action, and is that a question of is that a problem? And it could be, yeah. I don't think we have to go down that path right now, but any action you take regarding employees certainly sets a bit of a precedent.
Well, and I think earlier we used the word consistency. In this particular situation, that's absolutely a positive thing, because, again, this is where the employee voluntarily wants to make this change. Nobody's forcing them. And I, for one, cannot foresee any circumstances whatsoever that if an employee 2 years from now, 5 years from now, next week, came with the same request, as stewards of public funds, why would we say, well, we're not in favor of this request that is, obviously the employee has decided it's beneficial for them personally. It obviously benefits the town financially. I can't foresee a circumstance where somebody would come with this request and we would say no. But I understand legally we can't have a policy that encourages it or requires it, and we haven't.
Right.
But I also do like the fact that this situation has been presented to the council twice, and if we approve this request, we will have responded in both incidences the same way. And why wouldn't you? So I can't see how this could be a problem.
That's fair.
Furthermore, we're looking at a new salary ordinance and changes that'll happen there. I think it makes sense to put that in writing in some way, shape, or form, which we can explore later with that next revision.
But what in writing?
Some language around if a employee, I guess, how would we?
I don't think you can have a policy that
Right.
encourages
You
it.
need to sort of have a policy about it.
Got it. Okay.
Right. So it's just
Then
an
I retract my
individual,
previous
it's just an individual decision,
Yep.
which is what this one is.
But from what I understand, that if an employee decides to do this, they do submit the request in writing. Is that correct, Yvonne?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I ask when the request was made?
Probably January, February, we started talking about this, because, when one turns 65, one knows that.
Yeah.
For 64 years to come, so this is something that we talked about, and then, it's, of course, date dependent, and then
Right.
came off the insurance on March the 9th.
Right. I don't disagree with the ordinance. I don't disagree with the retroactive. I'm just thinking down in the line, in the future, and the situations that we could have, is that we would, in my mind, we would probably want to make sure that those requests in those cases would be submitted in a timely fashion, especially if we're looking at retroactive. So if you're looking at 6 months or a year down the road, those are different things.
Yeah.
And those nuances to this, minus any policy to direct us, are important nuances to me.
Sure. Well, and perhaps we should have acted more timely, but the town started realizing the savings March 9th, and the flip side is the employee started incurring the expense out of pocket, and that's my concern, and I want to make sure that we go retroactive because the employee shouldn't be penalized because we didn't act faster than we've acted. But we can fix that tonight. That's
No, I
the
agree.
best we can do is take care of it now.
I think we were slow on it, but now we're educated, and I think if it happens again, we'll act more quickly, so we won't have the retro pay. Okay.
I will make a motion that we approve the amended salary ordinance 080724 and backdate that to March 9th.
I'll second that motion.
Motion approved and seconded. Do we have a discussion? Any more discussion, I should say? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried to approve amended salary ordinance 080724 and the retro pay. Next is donation acceptance.
In the past, the State Board of Accounts has asked us to accept all donations through making sure, in a public meeting, public forum, with all of you knowing that it's going to the account that it's supposed to go to. So we'd like you to accept the donation as a one lump sum from the golf outing versus going through each personal check that we got. So our donation amount is $18,024.
No, I'm not sure. That's awesome.
So
Well done.
that would require just signatures afterwards and you acknowledging and probably making a motion that you approve it.
All righty.
I'll make a motion that we accept the golf outing donation in the sum of $18,024, and part of the motion is just to compliment everybody that was involved in organizing, volunteering, participating. You know, this was the first, Chad. And from there, it's only going to get so much bigger and better and for a good cause. So thank you to everybody that made that happen. That's my motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion approved and second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried to approve the salary ordinance, oh no, sorry, the donation of $18,024 for the golf outing. Okay, legal updates.
No legal updates.
All righty, thank you. Department reports, town manager.
No, Willow Ridge is going to start their first model home. Probably, I think the foundation's going in Thursday, so we'll start to see a little progress through there. Streets are in, curbs are in. They'll be backfilling and grading, so that'd be nice to see that subdivision move forward. Foundation and slab for the senior housing, that's going in, so hopefully probably within the next 30 days we'll start to see that go up vertical. Make a big, and I think Starbucks is planning on doing a final within a couple of weeks, so things are moving around.
Thank you.
You had any update on that bridge, as people ask?
No, I have, what bridge? Yeah. Yeah.
We have a bridge?
I did have the opportunity to talk to Gary Poole, and really, it's pretty much the same. It's the permitting process. All the engineering, everything's ready. It's just a matter of the permits. That's going through the federal, so. And they've hired a consultant to take care of that, so that should hopefully make that move as fast as it can.
Great.
So,
Does anybody know a guy who can speed that up?
yeah. No guy.
I've used my guy. My guy's on it.
Yeah.
Wondering, asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Steve?
About the only thing I would have is I did speak with, or touch base with Dave O'Mara today, the project manager, about the community crossing project to get an update. He said they're going to start with concrete curb ramps. He said his concrete guy was probably 2 weeks out. They'll do that first, and I want as much advance notice as I can because they're going to be doing some patching on Jim Road, and with the bridge situation, you know, I said, give me all the heads up you can. That way we can get it out on social media. Now Jim Road's not going to be closed. They have a lane open. They're just doing the a part of the northbound lane. So I'll be using flaggers on both ends, and Jim Road will remain open through that. And the patching and milling and patching should only take, 2-3 days, if I had to guess.
So we're looking at the next 2 to 4 weeks, sometime in there.
I'd say if I had to guess, I'd say toward the end of August. Yeah. Definitely toward the end of August before they get on Jim Road, if they start the concrete work first, which would be in Crystal Heights, curb ramps, whatnot. That's all.
Do you know when they might be, start painting the lines on Jim?
That would be
Well,
me.
I saw, could you see my?
It should be within the next 1 to 2 weeks.
No, okay. Thank you.
Have we noticed any issues with the detour from that bridge going down there? Because I know the parking on one side and then the waiting. I'm just wondering, is there anything that we need to do to clean that up until the bridge is fixed?
As far as parking, what do you?
I just know that really it becomes a one-lane road if there's parking on both sides.
Yeah, that does make it difficult. And I will say, Gary Poole offered to signal that bridge, and he would put a signal on both sides, which would, it sounds great in theory, but my I think in the summer it might work, but if you take that road closed sign, you're moving traffic off 50. And I don't think we have enough to stack traffic here
No.
with that signal working. So that might create issues on the highway. So it would be nice if the traffic was a little slower, but we just don't have the room, so.
I just didn't know if there was an option for that side road and the parking. Have we had any issues that we're aware of?
It is a little slower. Sometimes it is bottlenecked if you get a couple cars.
So in the morning, we've been watching it, because when the school zone, normally that bridge is that main thoroughfare through.
Yeah.
So they're cutting that side road, so we've been sitting an officer over there, and probably in about an hour's time frame, we get about 40 cars through there. And most cars are pretty good. I mean, in the morning, they're all going one way.
Yeah.
So it's not horrible, but yeah, it's definitely one lane, but people have been very good about one sliding over, one coming through, getting around. Our concern is gonna be the buses, but we've actually had no problems with the buses. I talked to Bus Garage, no complaints, but the longer it goes, people are finding the back ways in. It could be a problem eventually, but quicker the bridge is fixed, the better.
There you go.
No pressure.
Stirring
Okay.
it.
I was just curious. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that we're doing everything to keep people safe.
Yeah, we're sitting over the mornings and afternoons trying to watch that traffic, and actually it's better than we ever thought. We thought it was just gonna be horrible. It's actually not bad at all.
Is that all?
So
Thank you, Steve. Bob?
And I'll roll right in it. So Thursday, Friday, the street signs, the flashing lights were not working. State did not get out and get them started. Luckily, we had a key, so I went out, flipped them on. They might have ran all day, but by gosh, they worked. So we got a little busy, so we didn't shut them off till we were ready to be done with them. So he came out Monday morning, bright and early. They do have them operational now. So if you guys do notice them not working, let me know. I have been able to actually get through to somebody up there. So it still took them 2 days to get out here, but they are operational again during the proper times. Also, our next council meeting, I may not be available. We have a large jury trial coming up that I'm scheduled to be part of. So it starts on the 20th, and it may go through that whole rest of the week. It's one of our big cases. So if you guys want an officer here, I can provide you with one. If it's not a big deal, there's nothing going on. It's just up to whatever you guys decide.
Depends on what's on the agenda.
Exactly. Yeah, so let me know if it's something you think eventually if you're going to want an officer. I just know that if I'm going to be there all day, I may not be making round 2 here.
Okay. Thank you. Yvonne?
Been a busy couple of weeks in the clerk treasurer's office with all the budget stuff and what have you. But one of the other things that we're dealing with is changing from one bank to another bank. That process is moving along. We've signed paperwork, signatures, and those kind of things have been submitted to the bank. In order to open the new accounts, even when they're not quite going to be active, I need to put some money in there. So I just want to, I guess, just have it on record that my goal is to move $50 into each one of these 3 new accounts, just so that they're properly active. And you will see that on the next claims register for the next meeting as really just money coming out of the one account. What you won't see on there is that it's going into the new account. So that's really the only, it's more of a heads up more than anything.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Thank you.
Well, out of curiosity, just because I'm sitting here thinking about it, do we have any active food truck permits out there?
Another one.
But we do have a good ordinance.
We have a fantastic ordinance. Deal with them when they come.
Yes, they
I was
have
just
not
curious.
been beating the doors down.
We almost made it through one full meeting without it.
I didn't bring it up.
Public comments, 5 minutes time limit for any topic. Yes, sir.
I'd just like to thank you guys for putting the sidewalk along Fitner Road, finishing that up. It's a nice job. There's a good flow of water can go underneath of it if it's needed. And minimal trees were destroyed.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll also pass that along to the redevelopment commission because they funded that project.
In 2 weeks, they've got another meeting, but I think that was an awesome opportunity to use some of those funds that were starting to
Nice
receive.
to hear. Thank you.
Put in there.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Don.
Thank you.
Can I add something? I'll just be public for a minute. The website is up and running. It still has 2 or 3 things that need to be added to it, but have you all had a chance to look at it?
Pretty
And
much.
Do you need changes? Do you have ideas that need to be added to it? And if so, email me. Let me know what needs to be added.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. I know it took a lot of time. Well, that's an understatement, I'm sure. Okay. Council comments. Ryan?
Yvonne, Chad, Terry, thank you guys for your hard work on the budget stuff. I know that you start throwing all those numbers in there like that, it gets crazy. But it made tonight and our budget workshop a lot easier to go through that stuff. And I just want to encourage the public that if you want to know something about the town, or if you want to know information going on, or all the happenings, come to the meetings. I appreciate seeing everybody here tonight, but that's the best way to find out about what's going on in the town, about stuff that's up and coming, that's going to affect everybody, is to show up to the meetings. So just want to encourage that. That's
Thank
it.
you. Ethan?
I will echo the new sidewalk on Vintner, and certainly the work on the budget. I think what I appreciate about the team that put this together is that you all have my utmost confidence. I trust the work that you're doing and the way in which you're communicating. So it would be really hard for all, well, we can't, but the way that you guys are communicating and helping us through this process, I just appreciate that. I appreciate a good start to school. So I haven't heard of any huge incidences related to school. So keep watching speeds in those zones, especially in the morning and afternoon. I think our high schoolers are navigating the minus bridge and how to get into the school system. So there's still some tweaks, I'm sure, but I appreciate that. And on all seeing the development with Starbucks coming to fruition, with the new senior apartments coming up and the other pieces that are, it's nice to see the things come up that we're talking about. And there's some exciting things around town. So that's it.
Thank you. Chad?
I'm going to go through my list, even though some people took some of those. So the website is great, Jenny. Thank you very much for that. It was a refreshing chance to see all of your hard work go into place. So thank you very much for that. I would like a new photo there. So we need to do headshots. And we got to set that up. Yeah, okay.
We all need our photos taken.
Yeah,
from
and
this,
I also want everybody's photo on there. If mine's got to be on
I
there,
agree.
Chief's on there as
Yeah,
well.
I agree.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that.
Those were stock photos from Christine.
Yeah, I'm trying. The sidewalk, I think everybody saw that. It's awesome. Driving past it last week, I saw a couple kids running down there, which was awesome because they used to run on the side of the road. So this is great work by the RDC, putting that money to good use. $18,024 raised by the community at a golf outing. Thanks to Officer Batten and Officer Whitaker and Chief Yvonne, Jenny, a lot of work went into that. So thank you guys very much for that. That's almost like it's a fully funded process, right? So I don't think a lot of people in the town know that there's no money from the town that has went to that. It's been fully funded, and we're making sure that can continue to be fully funded, which is pretty awesome. Mark and Penny Hildebrandt from the pub donated to that. He won almost all of the raffle events. So I don't know what happened there, but what it meant was that he donated a lot of money to that. But I wasn't gonna let him get away without that. So there we go. And then Yvonne, the budget workshop. It was an awesome learning opportunity. I think we all are continuing to learn. Most of us are 6 months in role, and
and you guys are doing a
appreciate all the guys'
fabulous job being interested, asking questions, coming up with different ways of looking at it. So hats off to you. I know it's a huge, overwhelming process. But yeah, thank you. Tonight was great. The finance committee meeting was great. We're doing really, really well with a brand new council. And yeah, my compliments to you for that.
Awesome. And then the final thing, if you want to learn more about government finances, Ethan Maple will be doing a lunch and learn, breakfast and learn on Friday. He can't wait to teach you guys all about the Department of Government Finance. That's all I have.
But you're going to be there too, to help.
I got a thing that time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ask questions.
Bill?
Maybe I can learn a few
Yeah.
things.
Much of what I was going to say has already been said. That's the, terrible thing about going towards the end. But if you haven't participated or attended the Music on Main Street events, the turnout has been absolutely amazing. And what Main Street is doing to help promote the town, there are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands. I've never seen as many people in one event without picket signs. So, it was absolutely wonderful. And also, I want to thank Chief Ely and the entire police department, the traffic enforcement, and the visible presence along Main Street in the school zone is certainly, because I live on Main Street, I get to the end of my driveway and there's nothing greater than to notice that every vehicle, semis, delivery trucks, or even students themselves, on Main Street, they're doing 20 miles an hour, and there's a very visible presence, especially at the beginning of the school year, to help people get into that routine. So thank you for that, because it's fantastic. Don't care about those. It's those cars that say police will get people's attention a lot more. So.
Every house had one of those, that'd be okay.
So thank you. That's all I have.
Those signs are a nice reminder, though. Thank Michelle for that. I just ditto everything everybody said. So, with that, motion to adjourn?
I will second that motion that Ethan made.
Okay.
I will third it.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.